In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a dependent drop-down list, but our challenge here, what is different to the previous videos, is that our headers, our lists, are not sitting right beside each other, but they're sitting right below each other. So in a previous video, I showed you how you can make a dependent drop-down list using the index function, but our data was given to us in separate columns. So we had a header, and then we had the contents of that header, and they were sitting right beside each other. The question came on how do you handle cases when your data is not sitting right beside each other, but they're actually sitting right below each other. And each of these has different sizes. So some could be longer and some could be shorter. So how could you create a dependent drop-down list with a data set like that? The master data for our lists is structured in this way, so that on the left-hand side we have the division, and on the right-hand side we have the app names that belong to each division. So we have three divisions here: productivity, game, and utility. The first drop-down list is this one, where the user goes in and selects a division. Now this is something that I fixed. So if you go to data validation, with list, I just typed it in productivity, game, utility, because it's not likely that this will change. Now the second drop-down, that's going to be dependent on this one. I'm going to show you how to create this using the offset function. So if you're not familiar with offset, I have a video that describes the basics of this formula. So if you feel like you're getting lost, make sure you watch that video first. I'm going to put the link to it in the descriptions below. So offset is like a GPS. So if you're familiar with index, the difference with it is that it doesn't need a predefined map on where it should move. What you need to give offset is a starting point, and then it can move anywhere you want it to move. Now, it only makes sense that the starting point is close to your answer, right? So in this case, our answer or answers are going to be here. So it makes sense that the starting point is somewhere here. It could be here, it could be this one, or it could be this one. It doesn't really matter what you select. The only thing you need to think about is that depending on your starting point, the other arguments that you choose here will be different. In this case, I'm going to start right here on the column header. Now, the next argument is how many rows do I want to move down? Well, that depends on this selection, right? So I want to move down all the way till I get to the first occurrence of that division. Which function could give me that? Right? So let's think that rows is a number, right? So I need a function that's going to return a number, and the match function is great for that. What do I need to look up? Well, I need to look up this division. Where am I looking it up? In here. And I do want an exact match. So the last argument has to be 0. Okay, so let's just double check this. If I highlight and press F9, I get 1, I have productivity, I move 1 cell down, which is good. The next argument is how many columns do I want to move? I'm here, right? I'm starting here. I don't want to move any columns. If I was starting here, yes, I do need to move 1 column, but right now I don't, so that can be 0. Then this one is the important one. What's the height? And height means how many cells do you want returned? So if I put 1 as height and 1 as width, it's going to return 1 cell. So that's WhenCal. If I change this to game, that's fighter, right? So the starting point looks right. But I don't want to just return 1 cell. I want to return many cells. All the cells that are in front of game. So I need to replace this 1 with a function that's going to return the number of cells that are in front of game. What formula could I use for that? COUNTIF function. First argument is the range where I'm counting in, so that's going to be the same one as before. So that's going to be my division. The next argument is the criteria. So what am I looking for? This. Okay, I'm going to close bracket. And that's the one in the last argument. That's an optional argument, but we want the width to be 1. So we're just going to press enter. It looks like that we're getting an error, but that's not always the case where you have formulas that are actually returning more than one cell, right? Excel can't put all of them in one cell. So what we can do is just click in the formula box and press F9, and we can see it's returning fighter to arcade. That must be our games. I'm just going to press Ctrl Z to go back. Let's just go check arcade. That's the last one in the game. So it looks good. Now all I need to do is to copy and paste this formula in the data validation box. But before I do that, let me just fix everything and copy. Go here where you want to have the data validation. Select list and paste right here. Okay, so that's fighter till arcade. That looks good. Let's switch to productivity. That's Vencal to didactic. That looks good as well. And let's do a last test for utility. That's commuta to Strex. That's commuta to Strex. Okay, so that's how you can create a dependent drop-down list when your data set is in this tabular format. The only thing you have to watch out for is that your divisions need to be grouped together. So if you're adding a new app that belongs to productivity, it should be in here. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And for more videos like this one, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get updates when new videos like this one come out.